8 years ago, I was making around $60,000 a year. Today, my total income is over $600,000. That's 10 times more, and I got there through a bunch of decisions that felt like going backwards at the time, including pay cuts I took on purpose. So let me take you back to where this started. I was a 16-year-old high school dropout when the 2008 recession hit. I couldn't even get hired at Hot Topic since I was a teenager with zero experience, competing against laid-off lawyers. So I spent years doing odd jobs like selling knives door to door to support myself through college. In university, I finally landed jobs that paid by the hour. I had an unpaid internship, I made $12 an hour working at the Career Center, and I worked retail for about $10 an hour. I worked multiple low-paid and unpaid jobs full-time, while I was also a full-time student at UC Berkeley, which sounds insane, but I was 19 and I didn't really need to sleep. And that paid off. Because I was willing to take the unpaid internships nobody else wanted, and I worked my ass off while I was in school, I graduated with a job already lined up, making $45,000 a year as an executive assistant. A lot of my classmates stayed unemployed for years because they felt that kind of work was beneath them or decided to take it easy and focus on their studies. That willingness to do what other people won't was really the only head start I had. Now you'd think from there the goal would be obvious. Work my way up, making more money at each new role. I did the opposite twice. My first job was wrecking my mental health. So I left for another nonprofit and actually took a pay cut from $45K to $40K just to get away from an abusive boss. Then I walked away from working in nonprofits and politics entirely and dropped down to $35,000 a year to manage a tiny jewelry business in the San Francisco Bay Area. 35 grand in the Bay is basically nothing. I was struggling to make rent and I tracked every dollar I spent on this little notepad to make sure I didn't run out of money before the end of the month. But as the manager of a 2-person company, I learned a ton. Sales, operations, dealing with people, and a lot about myself. Over a few years, I worked my way up to around $65,000 by the time I left in 2018. That cut down to $35K bought me the skills and confidence that everything after it in both my professional and personal life was built on. By the way, if this kind of career advice is helpful for you, don't forget to subscribe. I ultimately left that jewelry job because I stopped growing in the role. I didn't really know what to do next though, so I just went back to what I'd studied in undergrad and started a master's in public policy. I was living in Berlin making around $1,000 a month as a stats teaching assistant and a researcher at a nonprofit. Throughout my master's program, I was supplementing school with my own projects because academia never gives you enough to actually be competitive. I knew that from growing up in a bad economy. A degree was never going to be enough on its own. You always had to put yourself out there and learn the extra stuff they don't teach in school. During that program, I landed my first data science internship, and that internship turned into a full-time offer when I graduated. I was making around $45K a year in 2020, 8 years after I graduated from undergrad and made the same amount. Almost felt like it wasn't worth it to go through all that work, until it did. When it was time to move back to the US, the job hunt was brutal. I applied to over 100 jobs before I got a single callback. That one callback was for a machine learning data scientist role at Coursera. I spent at least 100 hours studying for the interview, got the job, and was offered $120K salary. This was a life-changing amount of money for me at the time. But I struggled a lot in that role at first. A lot of what I knew was academic or smaller scale, and the job needed production machine learning. I spent my first 6 months at Coursera working nights and weekends to catch up. Nobody asked me to do that, but I just knew I was behind and I didn't want to stay that way. Part of catching up was going back to strengthen my math skills. Since I dropped out of high school, I missed a lot of fundamentals, and I knew that to grow in my career, I needed a stronger foundation. One of my favorite resources at the time, and even today, was the sponsor of today's video, Brilliant. Brilliant has always been amazing for breaking down complex problems in an intuitive, engaging way. But recently, they've made the learning experience even better with a brand new interactive tutor. It sits right there on screen with you while you work on a problem. It can see what you're doing, draw the diagram out with you, and ask guiding questions that get you unstuck, adapting to how you're actually thinking, the way a great private tutor would if they were sitting next to you. Their curriculum is great for kids and adults and covers everything from fractions to algebra to calculus, plus coding and AI, all designed by people from places like MIT and Stanford. The reason it worked for me is that it fit into a life that was already really busy. It was there every day when I just had 20 minutes. You can try it for free at the link below, and my viewers get 20% off an annual subscription at brilliant.org/Marina Wyss. That habit of just continually learning long after the degree is what has made the biggest impact on my career. About a year and some change after I joined Coursera, I got promoted from Data Scientist 1 to Data Scientist 2, and my salary went from $120,000 to around $160,000. I had a great time working at Coursera. But even though I was unbelievably happy to be making 160K, I knew I could get more. So I applied around and eventually got an offer from Twitch, which is owned by Amazon. The role was the exact same title and level, but the pay was literally twice as much, around $300,000. So I made the jump. And oh boy, was I in for a surprise when I started. I figured since it was the same title and level, the work would be similar. But this was a lesson in how different these titles can be. When I joined Twitch, my team had zero machine learning infrastructure, like none. I was a data scientist with no engineering support, completely solo, and I had to stand up all our production ML infra by myself. I sure learned a lot, and that's actually what eventually took me higher in my career. I moved from the data scientist track into applied science with more of a focus on production ML and engineering. This moved me into a higher paid job family even though I stayed the same level. From there, I set my sights on making it to senior applied scientist, which is no joke. The role guidelines are pretty intimidating. They expect you to have a PhD or equivalent experience, strong research skills, and be able to put novel approaches into production. It took a lot of work to get that promotion, but once I did, my total compensation climbed to about $450,000. Throughout my time at Coursera and Amazon, I was working as a one-on-one career coach for people trying to break into the field. I noticed that I was getting the same questions over and over, so I figured I would make a YouTube channel to help people out with these common problems. I started this channel almost 2 years ago, and I was making negative money for the first 5 to 6 months since I paid an editor out of my own pocket. But then the channel started to grow, and with it came monetization opportunities. We now make money on ads, sponsorships, affiliates, and coaching. All in, the channel and my coaching business make around $15,000 to $20,000 in revenue every month. But I don't actually take any of that home because I have a team. I have 6 part-time employees who help me make all of this happen. It simply would not be possible for me to work at Twitch full-time and produce this amount of work without significant support from my team. I also continue to reinvest into the business by learning, going to workshops, paying for conferences, and a lot more. So I've actually never taken a paycheck from my content work at all. If I chose to pay myself instead of having a team and reinvesting, I'd probably be able to take out about $12,000 a month, which is how we get to my total income of around $600K. As you can imagine, even with a team, this shit is not easy. I work 50 to 60 hours a week, every week. Weekends do not exist for me. I get why some of you may be thinking, sure, that's a great outcome, but who would want to do all of that? It's just way too much work. If that's you, I'd gently push back on how you think about hard work. When my grandmother was my age, she worked at a cannery. Her actual job involved getting snakes off of the assembly line. I get to challenge myself with interesting problems from home, paid extraordinarily well, with none of the structural barriers my grandma faced. Compared to her, I've had an incredibly easy life. And I get to help other people get jobs they love and help them support themselves and their families. So whether a climb like this is worth it comes down to whether hard work feels like suffering or a privilege to you. My financial success is because of my mindset, not my technical skills. This is exactly what I get into in this video right here, on the honest advice I'd give any beginner trying to break into AI. Check it out up next.